welcome to Temple Bethel. On Wednesday night, December the 1st, we began to celebrate the festival of Chanukah. And we, of course, will continue celebrating Chanukah for 8 consecutive days. And we will light an additional candle on each of the consecutive days of Chanukah until the 8th night, when all 8 candles, plus the shamash candle, the servant candle, are lit. And this is one of the most joyous times of the Jewish year. You know, you're not allowed to fast, you're not allowed to mourn or to be sad in any way on Chanukah during these 8 wonderful days. Now, Chanukah celebrates a victory of our people over a terrible enemy in the year 167 BCE. The Syrian Greeks, led by their king, Antiochus Epiphanes IV, decided to get rid of the Jewish people by outlawing the practice of Judaism. Antiochus understood that if he got rid of Judaism, he would get rid of the Jews. Well, there was a certain family called the Hasmoneans who lived in the city of Modin, not very far from Jerusalem, who refused to pay homage to this king, to this wicked king, refused to bow down to pagan idols, refused to give up their adherence to the Jewish faith. And so these Hasmoneans, this Hasmonean family led by Judah Maccabee, Judah the Hammer, began a rebellion that culminated on the 25th day of the Hebrew month of Kislev in a great victory. Now, I believe that Hanukkah is as relevant today as it was all those many centuries ago during the days of Judah Maccabee and the Hasmoneans. Hanukkah teaches us to be vigilant against the adversaries of the Jewish people. There are true enemies of the Jewish people even today. There's a crazy man in Iran who keeps threatening to wipe out the state of Israel. We have to be vigilant against him. We have to be strong in our defense of Israel and its right to exist and its security needs. But there are other, more subtle adversaries to the Jewish people. And one of them we encountered here in America. It is the adversary of assimilation. Now, we don't encounter a lot of anti-Semitism here in America. As a matter of fact, there is great religious freedom in this country. And as a result, many of us take for granted our Jewish heritage, and we are not as diligent as we might be in preserving this wonderful and vibrant culture that we call Judaism. Hanukkah teaches us also to be on guard against assimilation, as well as active anti-Semitism. I remember growing up in Vancouver, Canada. It was in the 1960s, and at that time I belonged to a labor Zionist youth group called Habunim. And I remember that we had planned a torchlight parade during Hanukkah. We were going to march down Oak Street, which was where most of the Jewish people lived in Vancouver in those days. And we were going to light a large Chanukah on the grounds of the Talmud Torah. When the adults heard this, they were very upset, and they tried to talk us out of it. They said, you know, it's good to be proud of being Jewish behind closed doors, but when you're out in the streets, it's not a good thing to bring attention to your Jewish identity. And you know what we said to that? You know what we kids said to this? We said, no, it's important to stand tall for your Jewish identity. And we defied the adults, you know. Even they offered us a few $100s for our youth program that year, and we said, no, we're going to march. And we did march. And you know, we were so proud. And the Jews that came out along the way were very proud of what we were doing. And even the non-Jewish people complimented us on standing proud and proclaiming our uniqueness as Jews. And so I think that that is something very important to keep in mind in and during Chanukah, and that is the mitzvah of Pirsum HaNes, which literally means advertising or proclaiming the miracle that happened in 167 during that first Chanukah. But there's something miraculous about being a Jew. There's something miraculous about the survival of the Jewish people over these many centuries. And it is something that we should be proud to proclaim. The mitzvah of Pirsum HaNes is one that tells us to put our Chanukiot on our windowsills, on our verandas, out there for people to see. When people walk by and people drive by, they can see that this is a proud Jewish household. That is the spirit, and that is the message of Chanukah. Chag Sameach, happy Chanukah, and hopefully we will see you next week.